All right, I need to show you guys something that genuinely made my stomach drop when I saw it earlier this morning. A seller in one of the seller forums who's been trading on Amazon for 8 years. They've never had a single issue. They just got hit with their first personal injury claim. So you're probably thinking, what does that even mean? Here's what's different now in 2026. Customers can now sue you with a few clicks through Amazon. Amazon have made it seamless. I'm Felix, I'm 23, and I've done over £5 million in Amazon sales, making almost 800 grand in profit. I also run Live Cops, one of the biggest Amazon FBA communities in the UK, and I thought that I'd seen it all. Account suspensions, chargebacks, A to Z claim nightmares. But what Amazon has rolled out now with this new property damage and personal injury flow, it changes the risk profile completely. So if you're doing over 2 grand a month in revenue on Amazon UK, you need to stop what you're doing and you need to watch this entire video, because what I'm about to show you could save your entire business. So yeah, Amazon customers can now sue you in a matter of minutes just from contacting customer service and just filling out a super basic form. Now, I have also seen some unconfirmed reports online of people seeing a report property damage or personal liability claim next to the return item button. I don't think that's true. I don't think Amazon would go that far to make it that kind of available to the customer or so obvious to the customer, because I feel like that would just sow doubt of like, why does there need to be a button next to my order for this? Like, how common of a problem is this? I don't think that's true from what I've read online. I think it's just the fact that you're able to contact customer service and launch a claim against a seller like this without using your own solicitors or anything like that. You just contact Amazon and they do all of that on your behalf. But that's a little bit scary, especially when you know how abusive certain Amazon customers can be in terms of wanting a full refund for stuff or just trying to kind of game the system to get their way. I think it's almost quite good in a way that solicitors do cost money and are a little bit of effort, so that you'll only really kind of waste the legal system's time if you have an actual problem, or at least that's the idea anyway. But when you kind of give customers the option to just instantly open legal claims against you for stuff that, in my case as well, when I'm an arbitrage seller where I'm selling other people's brands, I have no connection to that brand or its manufacturing process. Like, I can't help with any of this stuff. I'm just the guy selling it. It is a little bit scary almost, you know, Amazon giving customers the option to do this. I mean, I understand they want to allow their customers to feel protected, and rightfully so. There are definitely kind of dodgy private label brands out there that haven't been safety tested, and those guys should be getting sued if they're kind of hurting people or damaging their property. But I just do worry about the abuse of a feature like this, and I want to know more information really from Amazon. Like, you know, what steps are they putting in place to ensure that this can't be abused to just get free refunds or even compensation from sellers? I mean, what made me make this video originally and what made me kind of aware of this issue was this post on the seller forums that I saw, where it was a £10 product. It was a seller that had been selling for 8 years on the platform with thousands and thousands of successful orders for this product. They're a private label brand, obviously. It was a product as well that was like a single ingredient food supplement, something that was like 100% compliant with UK law as well. You know, this guy seemed like a genuine dude. It wasn't someone selling some dodgy product where he, you know, there was an actual reason for him to get sued. It seemed all legit from what I could tell from his post. And rightfully so, they were pretty frustrated and stressed, you know, about the reality that a customer can now just kind of contact Amazon and all of a sudden on your seller account health dashboard, it's no longer an authenticity complaint or something that's just you deal with Amazon. It's now potentially a whole legal case to deal with over just a customer complaining about something where, for all you know, that customer could just be making up, lying to customer support on Amazon, maybe not even realizing the ramifications for the seller for what they're doing, thinking, oh, well, it's, you know, it's a £10 product, they'll just give me a £10 refund and we'll be done with it. But no, this seller might actually have like legal problems to deal with because of this. Really, the thing I just want to emphasize from all this, because I don't want to seem like I'm a seller disgruntled that customers have the right to complain or something like that. That is not the case. I'm all for customers being protected. I mean, I shop on Amazon myself, even though I know that it's a little bit overpriced at times. It's just that the barrier to finding a claim has now been dropped so low that those kind of customers that will just take the mickey and just abuse the system they're probably going to be the main ones using this feature. And the reality is that you need to protect yourself from abusive customers, as well as genuine claims where, through no fault of your own, you may be the subject of some sort of claim. I mean, I started taking steps to protect myself before Amazon made it a requirement, and I'll get more into that in a sec. But I had a DeLonghi heater, so really well-known brand, you know, a brand that I personally would trust, and I have trusted, in fact. I think I had an oil radiator from these guys. I had a little electric, like, fan heater thing. It came back to me as a customer return, and it had melted itself. Like, it had fully melted its plastic covering. Thankfully, the customer told me in the return note that they smelt it burning, turned it off, and then sent it back to Amazon, and that was fine. But I was thinking at the time, like, oh my God, if this had caught fire and burnt down this guy's house, where does that put me in terms of, like, am I getting sued for that? Is that I'm no part of it, and that's just, oh, I'm just a guy selling it, and it's DeLonghi or the manufacturer, go to them. But as far as I can understand, I would definitely in some way be involved and be liable for this, even though I'm just the distributor, even though it's not my product that I have any control over. Because I sold it to that customer, I'm potentially liable. So that's when I started thinking, all right, if this somehow does happen and something bad happens to a customer, how do I know that I'm legally protected? And that is where liability insurance comes in. So another boring topic for today. I think I just dropped a video about seller fee changes. Now I've got bloody insurance, but stick with me for this one, guys, because it is important. Essentially, liability insurance is insurance that protects you from the liability of those sort of claims where a customer burns a house down with a heater, or somehow hurts themselves with a massage gun you sold them, or something along those lines where they want some sort of compensation from you as a seller. And obviously you don't want to be on the hook for that, so you buy this insurance and they will cover all your legal costs, any payouts to customers, anything like that is all handled by them, and you basically just don't have to stress about it and don't have to kind of be concerned about selling electronic products or just anything else that could in some way injure someone. So as I said, I actually took out liability insurance myself after this whole heater fiasco, but it's now actually an Amazon requirement that you have to have this insurance. I believe the official requirement from Amazon is over £4,000 of sales in a calendar month. In the US, it's $10,000 in a calendar month in sales, where you have to have liability insurance. Officially as well, it's any month of the year, so it's not just, you know, in the day of Prime Day you made a huge amount of sales, but every other month you're kind of under that figure. No, if you go over that figure, you have to have liability insurance. And I have seen amongst my own mentorship clients, as well as people in live cops and stuff like that, I have seen people telling me that they have been reached out to by Amazon to confirm whether they really have this insurance. So people are checking. It's not just a case of kind of buying it and no one ever kind of asked to see proof. And £4,000 a month in sales is actually not that much. Like, if you're selling £130 of stuff a day, which is pennies, like, you're still over that cap in the period of a month. So pretty much everyone watching this video, unless you've literally just started Amazon, you're gonna need to get this insurance, unfortunately. Now, not just any liability insurance will do, you have to make sure it's actually designed for e-commerce sellers and Amazon sellers. I'm gonna put a QR code on screen now and a link down below in the video description of where you can sign up for this insurance that will cover you for anything that Amazon require. I've got mine through the same site, Policy B, so I definitely recommend them. And obviously this is gonna be an extra cost to the business. It always is the case with these sort of things. It's a pain, but the good news at least is usually pretty cheap. You can get liability insurance from £15 a month. I think I pay about £50 a month for mine, but it's all based on just the revenue that your business does. For me, I'm insured for like millions of pounds a year in revenue, so mine is a little bit extra, but 50 quid a month is barely breaking the bank. You know, I don't even realize it leaving my bank account. And knowing that if the worst happens, you know, I'm insured against any sort of legal issues, that does allow me to kind of sleep well at night. So let me give you guys a 3-step plan of how you can get this sorted today and put this issue to bed. So step 1 is obviously just check your revenue, check you actually need to get this right now. If you're doing over £4,000 of sales in a month, it is an Amazon requirement to get this liability insurance. Anything under that, obviously it's not a bad thing to get liability insurance, but you're not going to be making very much profit anyway if you're only doing less than £4,000 a month in sales. So adding an extra cost is probably not worthwhile, because the chances are of you getting a claim like this is really slim. Then step 2 is literally just go to the link in the description, sign up through Policy B, and get an Amazon compliant liability insurance plan. And as I said earlier, this will be anything from 15 quid up to probably like 50 quid a month. Definitely more on the lower side if you're not doing very much revenue. And step 3 is obviously just go through all of the stuff on Policy B, fill out all your information, make sure you don't lie on the insurance as well. Don't understate your revenue to save a 5 or 10 quid a month, because your insurance is then just not valid. And then just save a copy of your policy documents to somewhere on your computer so that you have a copy of them if Amazon ever asks. And I assure you at some point they probably will. Now, if you did ever get a claim through this new system that I've been talking about, where Amazon just kind of do everything on your behalf, from what I can tell, from what I've been researching today, it's literally just a claim that will pop up on your account health dashboard, and all you have to do is just supply a copy of your policy documents to Amazon. Amazon will then deal with the rest. They'll reach out to your insurer if needed, but from what I can tell, Amazon will just pay out the customer seemingly, I don't know if that's straight away or after the claim is approved. I don't know. Knowing Amazon, it's probably something really stupid, like just straight away. And then Amazon deal with all the rest between themselves and the insurer, and you're just basically a third party that just gets to sit back and relax. It shouldn't cause you too much stress. Now, what are the real risks if you don't get covered? From what I can tell, there are a few scenarios. So if there's a small claim under £1,000, Amazon will pay out the customer. They'll debit you for the £1,000 from your seller balance, and they'll also give you a strong warning being like, you need to get liability insurance. If the claim exceeds £1,000, however, Amazon won't pay the customer. They'll hand your details over to the customer, so you have to deal with everything yourself. And if you can't pay in full fairly quickly, they will also suspend your account until it's all sorted. That will freeze potentially hundreds of thousands worth of inventory. It will freeze all your payments and royally up your Amazon experience. And if you exceed the revenue threshold of £4,000 a month and Amazon asks you for liability insurance and you don't have it, or you take it out on the days after they've issued you that request asking for the policy, so they'll know you haven't been covered, they could potentially suspend your account. Don't think just because you're selling low risk products, you're not selling heaters that can explode like the thing that I was selling. This seller on the seller forums was only selling like organic supplements, something that's like super low risk, I would say, and yet he was still hit with a claim through the Amazon Seller Central dashboard. And honestly, with Amazon customers taking the piss more than ever, I would definitely want to be covered if I was selling on Amazon. So that is the complete breakdown of Amazon's new one-click sue system and why you need liability insurance. To be honest, this is really one of those boring admin tasks that only becomes urgent when a claim lands in your inbox. But by then, it is just too late. If you're doing over £2 a month on Amazon UK and you don't have liability insurance, stop what you're doing right now and get those quotes done today. And if you want to scale your business and take things to the next level, click the link at the top of the video description to find out more about my 6-month-long mentorship program, which consists of video courses, one-to-one calls, group sessions, access to private leads channels, and so much more. Finally, make sure to smash like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
1 week later.
Update. A week after recording this video, he actually received a claim, and thankfully had a certificate to provide Amazon.